I don't know how long my mic was out for, but I'll just to recap: ZG Nebula versus DV8 Wukong. Two teams with a ton of rich story behind them. DV8 Wukong came into this tournament with a ton of expectations behind them and haven't looked the best, but they're hoping to show some signs of life during the playoffs. And ZG Nebula also came into the Night Sky Arena with a ton of expectations, but they really succeeded, right? They haven't dropped a game yet. They look incredible. So the question is DV8 Wukong going to be able to show us some of that fire that they showed during the Invitational? Already getting off to a hot start. Ryuki guy firing some pot shots in the mid, but for now, I was about to say Nebula's won this fight, but actually Azumi has gotten a molly kill on to Tempoed. Spike down in the top mid. Azumi is going to be caught up by that Ravnet. Nebula's still exploring down middle. Vi is currently exploring A. Might get caught out here. Yeah, Cupboard's gonna find Floofy. That's all the A main space. However, Nebula's already up into short. Choosing to back off the short. Hey, who's observing, by the way? I forgot.
Darkness.
Okay. No wonder. Alright. Now DV8 just holding A main, just waiting for a reaction. Nebula gearing towards A as well, but DV8 Wukong are just playing it patient. That Killjoy utility still up in B main. Crossfires, cross lines, and Swan falls right to Azumi. Flash goes out, Mars on 1 HP falls to Graves. Azumi gets a third in the round to finish it off. First round goes DV8 Wukong. A lot of promise. That was a flawless. They had some really good stuff going on. Azumi's Molly getting the first pick, actually. I don't know how they managed to do that. I don't know what utility combo led to the Molly getting the first pick, but no matter what it was, it's still a really good use of that Phoenix utility that we haven't actually seen a lot of teams get the full potential out of, right? People are I would say just dogpiling onto the meta and running Phoenix on every map, but a lot of teams don't have good theory around it. DV8 are already first round showing that they have utility combos around it. Nebula again pressuring middle. Smoke goes out. Blocks Graves off in short. Dart as well clears mid. Nebula successful for the first time this game. Second round, I know, but still, first time this game getting middle. Killjoy Alarmbot still up, and Cup Gold takes line with his signature Ares, brings Floofy falling, Sentinel dead, or at least the first one. Alarmbot's going to be triggered. Tyler Staria knows what's going on, has the read. Flash goes out from Mars. Gonna blind Tyler Staria out. Gonna be known, but Cup Gold's going to pick it and actually going to get picked off by Tempo, but Killjoy, Phoenix, Omen, not gonna let the eco happen. Second round for DV8 Wukong. Got a little bit scrappy, but still, not the worst. Investments brought out. Guns still up. Also, guys, tell me if my microphone gets annoying. I changed some settings, so if it's
no, it sounds good.
If it's bad. also talking to chat. Chat and you guys.
Yeah.
So into this round for DV8 Wukong, you should just expect to see them fighting for a little bit of space, fighting for some of these orbs, maybe getting some damage out. And you should see Nebula start to heat up a little bit. Vi is lurking down B main already. Killjoy looking to take a potential fight. No, Tyler Staria actually going to insert it. Whaley utility goes out. Going to hit Floofy 1 HP, but Tyler Staria is not done yet. Vines go down, barely saving Floofy from his utter demise. Two members worked up in A main, and it looks like that is what Nebula are going to start to gear towards. Walking back over towards main, Yoru all the way up in short. Going to take an engagement with Graves. Mars puts him down, but not without some damage. Cup Gold in heaven with the Ares Bandit. You cannot peek out of the smoke dry. He's going to wait for his team. Cup Gold with some spam, but Bandit's actually going to pick him off, and Azumi feels confident popping this ultimate back into it. Wall's going to go down in heaven, stopping any potential retake. Floofy picking off that ultimate right away. Tyler Staria with a random pick, but Tempo to even it out, and now it is Azumi. And a 1 versus 3. Spike goes down. A little bit of a head angle. Mars caught out. Drone gives him all the information. Azumi going to fake heaven. Deadlock sensor is still up, though, as well as the wall, so really understand what's going on. Tempoed in hell, gonna find the first and heal, and all of a sudden this one is dangerous. Dart's gonna give him all the information he needs to know, and Tempoed takes the timing, gets the round. It's close, but no cigar. As Nebula takes their first round, by round, gonna be expected, but DV8, even without a pretty good start into the round, Azumi is still showing some of that individual mechanical prowess that we've seen from him in the past. Obviously, Azumi is a very storied player in this tournament, and he's not going to stop anytime soon, looking to bring the series to a win. Close out their first game of playoffs. Once again, Nebula gearing away from middle. First 2 rounds, they were putting a ton of pressure in middle. DV8 have been doing a good job of kind of neutralizing that pressure, and I think that DV8 have the read that a lot of that pressure was just conditioning. Waylay Operator goes out in middle. Timpo, you cannot pick this. Ryuka guy with the early pick. Absolutely flawless. Deadlock clearing middle slowly, but has no idea. Ryuka guy out for the peak. Falls off. Omen and Phoenix. A little bit of an engagement. Azumi holding the line. Has the read. Swan still just sitting on top of this half wall. Buys with the spike all the way in tiles at the same time. It's going to be Cup Gold. Droning out A main. Just re-clearing the space. Allows him to rotate back over to main. TP goes out as well, all the way back to A. Looks like he might want to put some pressure in short. Go back A, but gonna be foiled by Ryuka guy. A nice shot, second on the board. Azumi flashing straight out. Graves getting the pick. Nice flash from Azumi. Ryuka guy still holding the angle, and it's like Nebula really have nowhere to go. They're kind of trapped. Floofy with the spike all the way in short, gonna be disconnected from Deadlock. Wall goes up in A main, forcing Deadlock to be able to get any value out of this Martial Orb. Gonna be collected easy peasy. Floofy knows what's going on in short, knows that there's a operator watching him, knows that he can't actually get past this line without paying a hefty price. Graves as well, doubling up with Ryuka guy as Tyler Staria starts to work back towards mid, just watching that, holding for the alarm, but Marshall out. Will he find anything? Flash goes out, Ryuka guy misses the shot. Oh, and the Marshall's good for it. Raze, however, gets Floofy, puts it into a 1 versus 4, and the shots are not good. It was a flash of brilliance for sure, but DV8 Wukong finding their 3rd round on the board. Nebula, ever since gearing away from the mid aggression, have started to falter in their pace. They're working the mains a lot, but they're just letting Wukong have mid. And I understand, I get it. The read is, if we pressure for the first 2 rounds, and they're going to have to put resources in middle. But DV8 Wukong are too smart to fall for something like that. All they need is the Killjoy alarm bot, which, by the way, is not being defaulted at all by Nebula. Instead of just sending a simple shock dart in the middle to break it, they're just letting it sit and collect all the information, allowing the early rotates. Now, Azumi and Graves immediately in A main. Drone goes out, gonna catch Azumi, but there's a little bit of a Phoenix Molly lineup, gonna force him to back off the line for just a little bit. Ryuka guy finds Floofy, pushing all the way into B main off of no utility, just purely contacting, and Ryuka guy now has the read, rotates back over to A. This is Bandit with the Marshall in mid, holding short, making sure that nobody can actually get that space, while 3 other members of Nebula grouped up in A. Orb collection is going to be heard by Azumi here, just holding this angle. Cup Gold in heaven as well. Like Graves is just holding short as well. They have some really nice crossfire set up. Nebula, how are you going to deal with this? Bandit still pointed toward short. Ping going out in bottom mid. Looks like they do want to scale up mid a little bit. No, instead they actually smoke it. And Shockdart's going to go over towards the alarm bot, which is going to break it. However, the smoke makes it painfully obvious to Wukong that no, there's actually not going to be any aggression down in the mid. Instead, 3 members of Nebula pushing down short while Yoru all the way up in A main. Collects that orb. Graves floating that smoke over towards B. Barely misses Bandit. Dart as well, all of that utility just to push Graves off the line. Cup Gold finds Mars pushing out a main, and all of a sudden, Nebula are isolated all the way in tree. Azumi a little bit of a whiff, but Tempo gets the hit. Graves with the trade, Tempo last alive, and the Ryuka guy dispatches of him handily. A little bit scary there once Graves got pushed off the line. However, Nebula cannot afford to be using that much utility just to push one guy off of the line. I mean, come on, he has a Phantom. Just run at him. He cannot kill you all, or maybe he can. Maybe it's Graves. Maybe that's the type of respect that you have to show a player like Graves in these moments, right? I mean, Graves was a tournament MVP of the Night Sky Invitational. I did forget that. Maybe that's why they showed him so much respect. You know, he has that MVP title, and you can't just run at this guy. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe the utility was warranted. However, if they do end up doing something like that on a buy run where they have equal guns, equal footing, it's still going to be a terrible sign for them. They cannot be using Gravnet, Smoke, Blind, and a Dart, all just to make sure that Graves can't get to them. I hate to say it, but I think that a Gravnet and a Smoke is more than enough. Like a Smoke comboed with anything else is going to make sure that he can't actually get through the choke and take a timing. I'm hyperfixating on this little bit of detail, but it is a sign of a large overarching issue so far, right? We're on the 6th round, and we're not seeing Nebula use utility well. We're not seeing Tempo use any shock darts over towards mid to break this easy access alarm bot. We're not seeing any mid pressure, no smokes, no nothing. It's strange. It's strange to see Nebula, such a high functioning team, resorting to just contacting and then using all of their utility on a single guy. This time, however, it does look like Nebula wants to switch paces. IGL has a little bit of a read over towards B, wants to hit the site fast, or maybe just put a ton of pressure. However, Wukong now pushing down middle. Azumi gonna pop this ult, and Ryukigai getting pacey with it all the way down the flank, and I don't know if they have the read. Azumi trips the wall, doesn't manage to find anything except for information, which is worth it. Mars tagged out, Cup Gold with the Odin, you know what's going on there. Bandit with the Deadlock ultimate, gonna find the first on the Cup Gold. Drone goes out as well, making sure that no one can follow up. Bandit finds Cup Gold and Tyler Staria already. DV8 tempo switch has caught them out. Mars in the corner, and Ryukigai has no idea. With this operator, he would be dead. But Mars just playing it safe, playing it smart. Azumi behind this Deadlock wall, and Graves on the flank. But Mars is good for it, gets the head tap over. Information revealed, but Bandit is good for it. And Azumi tries to do something, but Bandit with the 4-click closes the round out 4-2 in favor of Wukong Nebula with the pacey take. And Wukong had no idea how to switch it up to throw a little bit of a leash back to DV8 Wukong to, not a leash, but a little bit of a lifeline to DV8 Wukong. Maybe they were caught off guard because they themselves were switching tempos, right? They had the read that Nebula would be pushing mid and fighting for that mid space that they've been neglecting for most of the game. However, this wasn't a good read. It was a pretty good read, but Nebula reverse read it. I don't know. I don't want to make it too complicated. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Yeah.
That's definitely
It was a
not what
good timeout
did.
from Nebula there.
No, 100%. Whatever they said during that. Oh, Mars, another pacey take over towards A, and Azumi's the only one here. Gonna break that door and just get it down early. It's smart from him. Deadlock wall as well goes down, but the ult is just not gonna be comboed well. Mars, a blind firefight, comes out on top. Tyler Staria lurking down mid. Graves as well. Gonna be able to TP past this Vi as well. Actually going to rip it for some reason. He just puts the pressure. Forces Tempo to stay in a main. It's good idea. Jar gonna go out from Cup Gold as well. Comboing these ultimates well. Bandit stuck in hell. However, Wukong have no idea. No, they actually do. Cup Gold gets one. Ryukigai another. Retaking operator. Graves a third on the round. Mars trying to do his best to save the round, but Ryukigai gonna put a stop to it. Wukong, it doesn't even matter how pacey Nebula get. A very, very handed retake. Now, is it a little bit lucky that Nebula didn't combo the ultimates well? Yeah, it's definitely pretty lucky. Azumi was 100% caught in that deadlock barrier. And there was a Yoru ult and a Sova ult on him. He should have been dead there. A little bit of a misplay from Nebula. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit of maybe like a lack of practice or not expecting anyone to actually get caught. It's okay. Wukong got lucky. We'll just chalk it up to that. This round was entirely luck from Wukong. However, this round, Nebula are doing the same exact thing. No ults, and Bandit is on a stinger. Everyone else on rifles, though. This is still going to be a very, very important economic swing round for Nebula. DV8 Wukong not so much. Their economy getting pretty out of control. Drone going out. Graves whiffing on the flash, but manages to break it in time. Paranoia is going to go through tree, but the dart is good for it, and instantly Graves is the one to capitalize off of it too from tree with the... Well, oh my god, Cup Gold's just dry swinging out of the smoke. Finds Swan, immediately traded by Tempo, but the damage is done. It's a 2 versus 4. Ryukigai as well with a shot on the Bandit. You cannot disrespect this kid like that. Tempo, last one to fly, full blind Tyler Staria. The headshot to close it out. Ryukigai, another ultimate orb towards the Whaley. Now, actually, I was about to say they should be giving it to Azumi, but looks like they're just prioritizing the Whaley ult into it. Not a terrible idea at all. You know, they're one off. Azumi could get 1 kill, get an orb. I like the forethought. Should we talk about Nebula? It's really kind of crazy to me how they're doing some pretty good stuff. And I don't want to chalk Wukong's success up to luck, because their success is not up to luck. Their success is up to good fundamentals, good team play, good map theory, etc., etc. They're just a well-rounded team. However, it is crazy that Graves is the one to get 2 off of that dart. The other side of that coin is it was a good dart and it was good positioning. So whichever one you choose to go with, whichever narrative fits your perspective, it's fine with me. Tempo with the drone clearing out a main. Didn't actually clear wine, but I think that they might have had the timing on that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Dart's going to go out over towards A a little bit early. No big deal. Cup Gold in heaven. Will he do the same thing twice? No, he will not. Instead, a barrage of utility going to inflict so many status effects on these guys. And a Paranoia as well. They want to take this heaven space. They're tired of Cup Gold abusing them in heaven. The blind goes out, but Cup Gold finds 2! You cannot win! You cannot advance! Graves finds Flippy as well. Full flash on this drone, not gonna find Tempoed, but not even gonna matter. Oh my god, Tempoed! I mean, he has no chance in this. Surely not!
No way.
Surely Tempo doesn't even have a chance! 47 HP and Graves! Right out of the air! But oh my god, did he make it close? Tempoed! What do you have to show us, kid? Imagine if he had a rifle there. Graves should be absolutely thanking whichever god he serves that he got out of that round alive. 7-2. Nebula a little bit shaken, but clearly individual is still firing on all cylinders. Tempo has been an absolute force to be reckoned with. I would like to go back to just something funny for me. It's crazy to me that Cup Gold was just in heaven being pummeled with utility with the Odin and still managed to get to. That's another instance of, is it luck or is it just good gameplay from DV8? Is it lucky that Cup Gold got to, or did he just have good positioning, good aim, etc., etc.? Drone going out. Azumi wants to push the pace. Flash goes out. Gonna be spotted out still, but not even gonna mind Phoenix Bolt as well. Flash goes out. Can he find anything? No, he cannot. Tempo. Dispatches carrying on that momentum. Azumi and Graves still in main. Wall's gonna go out. Just wants to break this door as quickly as possible. Protocol is good. Flash goes out from Mars. Good entry onto the site. Cup Gold dart as well.
Found them.
Might just be good for it. Oh my god, he is! You give this guy any chance at all and he'll take it. Another straight through the smoke. And just like that, Bandit, it's left to you to turn this wonker-jawed round back around. And Azumi's not gonna let it happen. 8-2. And Wukong showing us a completely different look from the playoff. This is not the same Wukong that lost to Apex Starlight in the group stage. This is a completely different team. This is a drilled team full of protocols, not a single flaw in their gameplay. I'm just gonna completely abandon the luck narrative and just switch to glazing DV8 yet again, because I was saying it during the last Stargazing episode. I think that Wukong are gonna look good. I still have faith in them. They're vindicating me. I say that as Bandit does sit the operator down. Graves left to fill in this hole. Drone out towards A main. Swan around this angle. Graves is good for it. Dark goes out in mid. Wukong at least have that space. Gonna enable some rotations over to A. They know where Nebula's ending. Azumi, if you peek this, you might just be dead. Bandit is on a little bit of a heater. Bandit shoots the ball off instead. A nice entry onto the A side, but Cup Gold obviously still there. Not gonna be dealt with. Graves finds Floofy. Okay, cool. A couple picked off, but no big deal. Tempo's still alive. You saw the last time the Sheriff was in his hands. Gonna find Deadlock separating him, but Tempo! What a belter of a shot! What do you have to show for us? I'm excited to see shock darts going out. Forcing Cup Gold to back off the line. Reverse shock darts as well. Not gonna find any damage onto Tempo. Navigating around Generator, wanting to get this plant off. Graves gonna line him up. Ultimate goes out and Tempo handily dealt with. Bandit, last one left alive, just gonna walk right into the ult. It is insane that Cup Gold decided that he had to put the ultimate into that if they didn't want to get absolutely peltered by Tempoed. It just goes to show that Wukong are a team that does not lack respect for players they know are good. Wukong is not overextending. Wukong isn't overheating. Wukong is just playing it safe. They're using these ultimates into the egos to make sure that they don't get ecoed. They're making sure that their star player Tempoed is dealt with properly.
Right here.
And all of that has earned them 9 rounds, possibly a 10th if they manage to get this round as well. And Nebula going back to the one thing that worked. It is a full B hit. Mars right away with the Yoru ultimate onto site. Cup Gold with this dart just ready to do some damage. Not going to be cleared out at all. Wall's going to go over towards middle. Cup Gold with the spam. Tempo lucky to be alive. Making that teleport. Could be anywhere now.
Spike planted.
Deadlock utility going to make this retake so difficult. Cup Gold's drone getting too much value, I would say. Killjoy ultimate going to go out, but Tempo immediately knows how to deal with it. Ryuga guy just lands and dispatches Swan so well. Azumi finds Tempoed off the back of that pinch. Luffy finds Graves, Deadlock utility being broken. Mars, another headshot. Whaley ultimate gonna go out. Forced this ultimate out of the Mars in the corner, but Cup Gold falls, and this is it. This could be a round on the board for Nebula, 9-3, and we end the half. Mars individual brilliance to bring them that third round. Now we'll have to see what they can find on defense, and I have to say, defense might just be a banger. They have a Deadlock and a Vise. That is a crazy defense-sided comp, as well as the Yoru. You know, Yoru not finding too much value on the attacker side anymore. Obviously, if you use them right.
A 1 minute break, correct?
Yes, 1 minute break. So just pause the timer and then set a 1 minute timer, and like type it in chat as well. You gotta pause the timer.
Yeah, I paused it.
It's still. Oh, my bad. I can't see on the overlay. Sorry. All right. So talking a little bit about these two teams, I was speaking about how Yoru not getting too much value on attack anymore. However, it is a completely different story on defense, where the nerf for the teleports, I will stand by the fact that it is not terrible for the teleports. I think the bigger nerf is taking away the flash, but the teleports are still really good for instant aggression, getting out of there, map-wide rotations. Obviously, you have to take smarter timings, but Mars has been great on the Yoru. Like he's had a solid performance, he's had good utility, etc., etc. I think that Nebula probably have a very, 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 very drilled defense, at least defense. Sorry, that is my hope. That is my hope for a team of Nebula's what's the word? Oh my God. Of Nebula's caliber. That's the word. My hope for a team of Nebula's caliber is that they will have a drilled defense, especially with these agents. Deadlock as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Wukon's defense showed really strong. Nebula couldn't do much about it, especially with just Yoru as the only duelist. Now on defense with 2 Sentis, I'm hoping to see a comeback. I'm hoping to see a 9-3 curse here, reverse. So
Right.
I'm really excited about these two teams, especially for Tempo and Cup Gold, since I've heard a lot of good things about both players. Tempo showing that 4K on the Sheriff was insane, almost clutching the round. So let's see what the second half has for us.
Right, 100%. I'm hoping that Timbo can find even more on this defensive half. Cup Gold excelled during his defensive half, especially with those the heavy weapon. You know, the Air Rees was good for it, but even more than that, the Odin was incredible. And if Timbo can, I'm not saying that Timbo has to abuse these weapons to find value. I think that Timbo can do it with a rifle, and I'm not saying that Cup Gold can't, but I think that Timbo has showed individual brilliance this map. And I think that if Nebula can crawl back into it during their defense, then this has the potential to be a banger. We're saying something interesting from the side of Wukong. I just want to highlight the fact that they have 4 classics, 4 half shield. That is bizarre. Mars instantly getting inserted in the mid, gonna force to be teleported out. Vi as well over towards mid as well, so they at least have that space until it is tripped. Bandit just swinging. Azumi fights out, finds Swan. Deadlock Sensor going to be activated there. First one of many. Bandit off the back of a nice net finds Azumi, but Cup Gold gets the trade. Graves finds one in mid. Actually, there's a lot of fighting going on in middle right now. Paranoia forced to be used as well as the Waylay slow. Graves backing off all the way to tiles. It is a 2 versus 3, but it might as well be a 2v2 on site right now. Graves going to be super late through main. Cup Gold, however, worked all the way off. Tempo pulls the knife out. Drone goes out for Floofy. Cup Gold doesn't want to re-peek just yet. Just wants to put some pressure. Hoping he can delay Floofy's advance just a little bit. Not gonna work exactly, however. Does buy enough time for these crossfires to get set up. Graves all the way in main. Floofy gonna peek out. Cup Gold not gonna be found just yet.
My blind is ready yet.
Blind destroyed. Dart goes out. Scanning up. Has the read on exactly where Floofy is. Backing off. Time ticking down. Looks like it's just gonna be a save. I want to curse it, but doors closed. Floofy has no weaponry. Just gonna want to die to the spike here. That's all. Easy peasy. You have to die to the spike, Floofy. Alright, he will. That was a good round. A Riki guy trying to do something cheeky with the recall, not exactly gonna work. However, round is around 10-3. 3 rounds away for DV8 Wukong, closing out this map. Can anyone tell me whose map pick this was?
If I'm not wrong, it was Wukong's pick.
Right.
No, this is Nebula's. Nebula was
Oh, this is Nebula's pick, and I still have a lot of faith in Nebula. You know, I still have a lot of faith that Nebula is drilled on this defense. I think that it is just a flash in the pan, that they haven't been able to find much value. I think that we'll see something better from them. Already, we're looking to see something aggressive from Mars. He's gonna peek out. I curse the brief guy. Gets a pick. Omen Paranoia goes out, but Azumi, Molly's good for it. Gonna stop their advance. Net catching Azumi, but Ryuki guy 100% straight away, going to help. Spam damage caught. Information as well, just running away from the site where the deadlock resides because Tyler Staria worked all the way up through B. Vi's just completely evacuating the site out of absolutely no pressure. Tyler Staria working up, finding Floofy. Numbers for Nebula, just to save, however, did force up. 2 stingers and a sheriff left in play. I say that. With 2 stingers left, does pick up the stinger. Tempoed another nice headshot. Gonna have to find 3 more between Bandit and Tempoed if they want to even find this round into it. They did force up, so they kind of have to win this round or else they're gonna be kind of cooked. Drone going to spot out Ryuki guy. First of 3, dashes away to main, avoiding a disaster. Net going to catch Graves, but Tough Gold has the line. Aries pick is good, and Ryuki guy swings off of that contact, finds Tempoed 11-3. About how you would expect, even off the back of a Nebula force up. Now Nebula's economy a little bit cooked. 2 Guardians already being seen, a Judge, a Stinger. Actually, the Judge and the Stinger are going to be sold. Going to buy Sheriffs instead. Bandit hasn't even brought anything yet. DV8 Wukong gonna play it safe, not even going to force into this. You know, other teams would just want to get it over with, just gonna force into this, but DV8 Wukong, not so much. Gonna keep it light, gonna keep it relatively safe. Tyler Staria is forcing up a rifle, but to be expected, he did make a lot of credits last round. Drone going out for Cup Gold, and Bandit immediately deploying this wall. Wants to just break this drone, not before he gets the scan off, and the Ares is going to dispatch this wall immediately. Swan with a belter of a shot over in mid, finds a controller player. DV8 left a little bit confused. Cup Gold just walking up onto the A site. Thorn's going to go out on the B site. Tyler Staria has been spotted out. Tempoed in market. The peak and take an engagement. An engagement he does take. Tyler Staria wiped off the board. Initiator and controller gone for DV8 Wukong. At the same time, Swan is just pushing all the way up A. Cup Gold has no idea. He's about to be pinched by a very mechanically gifted player. Tempoed almost finds another, but Azumi's just too fast. Gets his heal off immediately, and Cup Gold has somehow walked up on the site, but he's not even going to check it. And the long-range Judge doesn't find the kill, but Cup Gold has actually gotten out of this with a pretty good deal. Even though he does die, he gets a ton of information. Azumi wants this round so badly. Ryuki guy just on site, and Floofy cannot outrun his fate. Azumi walls off spawn before his ultimate is down. Mars reverse flash. Swan make sure that Azumi doesn't get any value. Smoke left for Swan. Ryuki guy finds first of 3 and cannot find the round, however. Damage is still being dealt, and Nebula's economy is still going to be super, super shaken. She's still going to come through.
Good try.
11-4. Nebula has found a 4th round. For the defensive half, it does come off the back of a lot of scrappy fights being taken by Wukong on their save. On the bonus, you know. But
Yeah, huge bonus from Wukong here. A lot of damage. I'm hoping to see more from the Sentinels, especially having 1 on each side. They're not being able to stop them much, and the pushes.
No, I completely agree with you. I think the fact that they're using the Sentinels like this shows a little bit of a lack of thought into the comp. I hate to be rude. All respect to Nebula. Oh, never mind. Tempoed takes matters into his own hands. Finds a pick on Azumi. I'm sure a belter of a shot. Finds another, goes back for more.
Wow,
Tempoed wiped off the board. This guy's firing on all cylinders. Paranoia about to be used for main, but have the read. It's just Graves alone. Tempoed walking out wants to get even more. Not going to be able to find any more value. However, Swan does get the trade. Puts it into a 2 versus 4. This is an advantage for Nebula. They just have to close this round up. Graves and Ryuki guy walking up, and Graves just straight through the smoke. Not how you would expect that to go, but alright, I guess. Teleports through. Ryuki guy, Whaley Dash defeats the point of going quiet, but still. Bandit with the Marshal. Not going to be red, holding this angle. Great, backing up, and Ryukigai will find Bandit on the angle. Very nice angle, might I add. It is a 2 versus 2 all of a sudden. This was, at its peak, a 4 versus 2, and now it is 2 versus 2. Nebula just have to not throw this, and they will be okay. Ryukigai getting this plant off one more towards the Waylay ult. Swan walking out alone, almost dies for his sins, but manages to get the headshot. Ryukigai, suppressive utility, 1 versus 2. Bulldog versus a rifle and a Spectre for the side of Nebula. 1 HP for Swan. Declines to drop his weapon over to Floofy, instead keeps it for himself. Drop down will be red. Thorns go out, and the Waylay ultimate's going to be used. End of this one. Ryukigai wants this round, and Swan sticking, and Ryukigai! The 3K and the 1 versus 2 to close out the round. 12 to 4. It is a match point for Wukong. It doesn't even matter if Nebula go up 2 to 4. 4 to 2. Sorry, they're up by 2 players. They just have to not throw the round, and instead they give ones away. And I have to be completely honest with you, Crest. Without being rude to Nebula, I mean this with full respect to everyone on the team. Nebula is better than this. I know that Nebula is better than this because they made it this far in a very difficult group. Where is Nebula?
Alright, I've heard a lot of good things about this team, especially Tempo. In my opinion, he's the only one showing up to this match right now.
Right.
I think everybody else needs to step it up.
Well, speaking of which, though, Swan straight through the wall actually finds Graves. Paranoia goes out on the site. Sorry to interrupt you, but a lot of action happening right now. Floofy picks off Azumi, finds another as well. Floofy heating up, and this is a 1 versus 4. Tempoed with a belter of a shot. We were just talking about you. Oh my god, 12 to 5. Nebula. Very fast-paced, thrifty round to close out that, or a very fast-paced, thrifty round to add another round onto their half.
Yeah, amazing hold from the Bison side, getting those 2 kills with the Sheriff, allowing the team to get trades there. To go another round, see if Nebula can wake up, build some momentum for the next match. I see it very difficult to come back from this, but at least build some momentum for the next map.
Right.
And let's see how they do.
Right, 100%. And Wukong know that they need to close this one out clean, or else it's going to be difficult to keep that same momentum against a team like Nebula. Bandit and Tempo,
Another
early
great
picks.
start.
Tempo with an incredible ultimate, and they are up 5 to 3. A map or a player advantage. Wall's going to go out over towards A main, and Cup Gold is not going to be able to get past it. Spike is over towards Tiles right now. Graves with the spike. That controller player, he's been good, but you have to do an absolute madness, and Cup Gold just trapped in the corner, just trying to get out on his own. Bandit Bullet's going to be wasted. Not going to be with his group. They're going to have to hit without him. It's a 2v2 on the site. Tyler just jump kicking. Graves teleporting in with the spike. Mars finds in a little bit of desperation from a team that does not to be desperate as all.
Cutting through.
Spam and the Odin from Tempo. Give them a taste of their own medicine. Mars about to flash into smoke. Might even want to swing, but Tyler not even going to find anything for his timing. Maybe with a Phantom, sure, but not with a Stinger. Cup Gold versus the World. Does not. Oh, does find the first. Odin spam as well. Doesn't want to peek through this. Does not find the second. Luffy takes the round. 12 to 6. Nebula crawling back with Wukong on another buy, and they have ultimates that Nebula will have to deal with. Nebula gonna have to deal with Cup Gold's Sova ultimate, as well as Tyler Staria's Killjoy ultimate. They are 1 away from Azumi's Phoenix ultimate. Now I say that, but Nebula on the other side have some incredible ults to work with as well. They have that Deadlock ultimate, basically a free pick if you do it right. And a Yoru ultimate and Yoru Deadlock. They combo pretty well with those ultimates. They have a Omen ult. Okay, so. 1 away from a Vise ult. Name of this round is who can use these ultimates better. Dark goes out through mid. Gonna clear Tiles on his own. There is still a wall up. They're gonna have to deal with that at some point. Just not yet. Mars is open the shorty. Gonna hear what's going on in mid. Azumi just inserted behind this wall.
Deploying drone.
Off the back of Ryukigai's dash. Tempo. Drone goes out. Mars with a pick on to Ryukigai. Again, giving him a taste of his own medicine. 3 over towards mid, and Azumi still inserted towards market. Could be a little bit of a lifeline. Tyler Storia missing this jump. Gonna be heard by Bandit. Drone goes out. Forced to reveal his deck. Mars just holding this angle. Cup gold with the Odin. Jam shots galore. Smoke goes out. Missed timing, but Floofy finds Azumi trying to walk up middle. Spike is still over towards mid. Graves might have a timing if they don't suspect any more here. Just spams shots, but Mars deals with it well. Just a flash, and Graves left in a 1 versus 4 would have to do an absolute madness. He's been good, but I will say it again. Could be a step too far. Peeks around this angle, sees Vice's head, doesn't want to deal with anything, and Tyler Storia finds Mars. First of many, walked up all the way, tempoed, almost whiffs, but it's just the random spam shots that end up doing it. Graves walking back towards B main. Thorns are up, but Vice has no info. In fact, this team has no information. Tempoed already used the recon dart. Forces Swan to walk out of A main just to get this information. Tempoed for some reason is
10
darting
seconds left.
his own spawn. Okay. Cool. Time ticking down, but Graves is going to be able to get this plant. Nebula immediately reacts, rotating back over. Vi is still in spawn. You're going to want to regroup with Tempoed. Random spam from Tempoed as well, just hoping to find anything. Vi's flash going to be taken back by Floofy. Swan decides it's too readable to go through his flank. Goes out market. Braves repositioning off the noise he hears. Smoke's gonna fade, and there's gonna be engagement, and Swan, incredible reaction time, gives Nebula a 7th round. This is the defense that I was talking about. This is the incredibly well drilled, nice theory from Nebula.
Yes, sir, but let's see how they're gonna counter now that DV8 has 8 ults to execute a side, to fake a side with a KJ ult. Nebula doesn't have a Soba ult to counter that either. The only way they can hold B, I'm guessing, is with the Vice ult, just to buy time for the team to rotate. It's gonna be a tricky round.
Right.
It seems that DV8 is going into a safe round.
Right.
Maybe we'll see it next.
That, and you say the thing about holding B, but Nebula have stacked over towards B, while Wukong are actually over towards A this round. Deadlock is solo yet again. It's going to be a stun sensor out on that wall.
Throwing net.
Net's going to go out, hoping to just catch something. Actually going to hear the sound cue that, yes, Deadlock has caught something. Choose to back off instead of using that ultimate. Spike, along with 2 more, walking down into short. Tempoed with the Odin. Will not be able to find anything. Ryuki with the Sheriff. Downsons are going to be popped. Azumi pops that ultimate. Bandit
They
finds
need to
2.
kill Bandit.
Keeps control of main. Ultimate goes out. Finds Azumi's ultimate. Not even going to matter once this ultimate goes down. Basically just a wasted ultimate. Leaving Cup Gold alone on site while Azumi and Ryuki walk back through short. Swan going to be heard in heaven. Yoru as well. Wall goes out, just separating offshore. Want to put some pressure here, allowing Cup Gold to play on site. Swan smoking, has no idea that lurking below him is an absolute shark attack. Cup Gold takes the first pick. Azumi flashing into short, wants to get some of the space. Mars finds the first. Visal goes out.
One enemy remaining.
Mars with the shorty finds another, and Cup Gold wants to have a go of it, but Bandit puts him in the grave. 3 kills for Bandit and 8 rounds for Nebula. Crawling back into it. 12-8 from 9-3 down isn't too bad. No matter what happens, this map, Nebula can be pretty happy with their performance. However, Nebula are surely not done just yet. They have a Yoru ult that they have yet to use. Gonna work back towards that Sova ult as well. 3 out of 8 so far. Tempoed 18-15. Going absolutely nuclear so far.
Yeah, an amazing hold from Bandit on that A side, getting 2 picks and holding couple on site for his team to rotate, buying so much time for them.
Gonna go out from Cup Gold, not gonna get a scan, but still gonna find that information. Smoke in main. Blocks off their advance. Filter ultimate gonna go down. Wall as well, but Cup Gold has just the answer for it. Dart is just revealing what they already knew. Dart into heaven. Mars fall off. Deadlock still tucked in hell, but Grafnet herself, interesting choice. Ryuki finds that kill. Spam from Tempo, not gonna find anything, just gonna want to break that door.
Nowhere to run.
Early Sova ult, buying a little bit of time. Mars gonna want to ult back. the reversal. Whaley ultimate as well, just trying their best to stall. I don't know what they're doing. They haven't even started the retake yet, and already Wukong burning through these important ults and giving Mars a chance to use his ultimate. Collect all the information, finds Izumi, finds Cup Gold, Vice Flash gonna go out. My one to allow Mars to get out on site, find the kill with the shorty. Cup Gold doing his absolute best, finds a kill on the Mars, finds another, and Cup Gold somehow fends off a swarm. Wukong take the map 13-8, showing us absolute brilliance in terms of individual mechanics, map theory, team coordination. Wukong is a well-oiled machine, and everyone will be back after a short 5-minute intermission for map number 2. Please stick around until then, and I will see you. Hello everyone, we have a little bit of a special treat. I am here with Dark and Cress, analysts on the desk. What are y'all's thoughts on that map that we just watched?
Definitely Nebula had the right idea with the defense started coming back, but they kept leaving too much gaps in that mid space. You know, just Wukong just going in there, finding the gaps, almost getting every single pick on the Vice on lever. And it's just really rough to see how such a great comeback comes to an end.
I agree. I was expecting a little bit more of Nebula on the attack, even though they had double Senti and a Joru. But the fight on me that they started from the first round, um, they started good in my opinion, but after that 9-3 on the first half, seeing how they almost come back on the second, like I told to Eli, I didn't think once Wukong reached round 12, I didn't think they were gonna come back at all. I was just telling him that the best thing they could do is just build momentum for the next map, which they did. And actually, on that last round, I really thought they were gonna get another round. I'm talking about Nebula here, because I saw that Wukong was using their ults, in my opinion, too early, even though they were trying to buy time for themselves. But in my opinion, it was too early because because Nebula hadn't even started the retake. But well, um, then you have Cup Gold playing hell with that Odin. Nobody could kill him. Nobody could get him out of there, and practically that's how they won that last round. But it was an amazing match. I've heard a lot of good things about both teams. So I expect a second match where Nebula can come back and take us to a third map.
Yeah, and speaking of Cup Gold on the losing side of the winning side of the team getting a 1.8 KD. Very, very good from him. But we don't have to speak about him because you can see Tempered on the other side definitely trying to get that difference between the two teams, and he just couldn't do it. Both teams, Sovas had an 81 cast. What an amazing match. I really thought that Nebula would win out their map pick, but DV8 Wukong takes it and steals them the first match.
Yeah, the usage of util from both teams, especially from both Sobas, the people that I heard from the top 10 most how can you call it? Best players of the tournament so far, they were included. Cup Gold and Tempo. They both showed why they're on that list. Their util is amazing, both playing Soba as well. Tempo is stepping up for his team, especially with that 4K almost clutching that round. I'm pretty sure that hyped up their whole team, and that's how he was able to bring the vibes up again and somehow almost come back on that defense side. But I'm real excited to see the second map, see if Nebula can win Wukong's pick, and take us to the third map, like I said, which is gonna be, if I'm not wrong, Haven? Was it?
Yeah, it was Haven.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see, since they started building momentum on the defense sided. I can't wait to see Nebula try to bring it back and bring this to a map 3. We're gonna go into intermission. Thank you for talking to us.
Yes, sir.